busy woman, it's tempting to believe that we are beyond capable and actually good at multitasking. I know I'm personally guilty of that myself. This morning, I was trying to send a direct message to someone on social media at the same time I was trying to do a workout. And needless to say, I wasn't really effective at either. And so that gave me the idea that I wanted to come and talk to you guys about multitasking. Multitasking, by definition, says that's where you're trying to do two tasks at the exact same time. But research says that we're actually physically incapable of multitasking. Instead of multitasking, we're actually doing something called task switching. That's where you're jumping from one task to the next task, then back to the other task, and back to the other task. And in turn, you're actually expending more time and wasting more time than if you were to just kind of task batch, right? If you were like, I'm going to focus on this task for a certain amount of time and then focus on this task for another amount of time. But here's what I want to tell you, that sometimes we allow ourselves to believe that multitasking is actually speeding things up, or that multitasking is actually making things better, or that we're actually capable of multitasking. And today I want to share 3 reasons why multitasking is actually not even something that we should be trying to do. The first reason that you don't want to multitask is because it's stressful. Think about it. If you're trying to balance 2 different things at one time, you're not really giving anything your full effort or energy, and it ends up stressing you out in the end because either you have to go back and do it or you don't feel like you put your best foot forward. And so multitasking, or attempting to multitask, actually causes an increased level of stress. The second reason multitasking isn't good is because it's actually slowing you down. I do what's called task batching, where I chunk together tasks that I need to get done, because you need the same thought process, the same mindset to address certain tasks. If you're bouncing between sending emails and working out, those are 2 totally different parts of your brain, and you're trying to bounce between the 2. And what actually ends up happening is it slows you down. So instead of being slowed down by the thought of multitasking, which we believe to speed us up, instead choose to focus on certain tasks by bulking them together and focusing on those at one time, because then you're already in the mindset to get it done. If I focus on exercising all at one time, I'm already in that mindset. If I focus on emailing at one time, I'm already in that mindset. And so what multitasking does is it actually slows you down instead of speeding you up like we like to believe. Finally, the third reason that you shouldn't attempt to multitask is because we are physically incapable of it, which also means that you're not good at it. Sometimes we believe that we can multitask, but that's where mistakes come in. Honestly, I know this can sound extreme, but multitasking can ruin different relationships. I mean, think about it. If you're sending a very important email to a new potential employer, what does that mean if it's, half done or not really your best effort? Or how about if you have a business and you're working with a client and you don't give your best effort? Or how about if you're working on launching a course or publishing a book and you don't put your best foot forward? That can ruin relationships with clients. So because we're not good at multitasking, that's another reason that we shouldn't even attempt it. Honestly, I learned this concept probably 10 years ago, and it was difficult for me to comprehend. It wasn't until I started to go back and reflect on the things that I was doing in a multitasking form and seeing the errors that I was making, seeing how it really wasn't my best work, really having the frustration of having to go back and fix it, that made me realizing that in the long run, multitasking isn't worth it. My very own experiences have given me this desire to come to share this video and this message with you today, because I want you to move away from this idea that you have to multitask. And once you do and you start to focus on one task at a time, you'll watch your productivity increase, probably skyrocket like you wouldn't believe. Comment below and let me know, have you ever tried task batching, or maybe if you've had a mishap with multitasking? I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, I'll chat with you guys later.